How you all doing? I hope you had a nice Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone. I was just looking at Google Trends here. Google Trends is a very interesting online program. It basically tracks all the information and keywords that are put into computer search engines like Google all over the world in relation to a certain topic. So if you want to know about a specific topic like embroidery, you can type embroidery and do a search to trends back from 2004 to the present. And what it does, it will actually look for incidents of the word, say embroidery, both typed into search engines and also how it appears in the media. So just for an experiment, because I'm the book and research and stuff, I typed psychopaths into Google Trends. Here, I hope this shows up. This is from 2004 to 2010. I typed psychopaths into the keywords as Google Trends. Now, as you can see, this is the news reference volume down here, and this is the search volume index here. There was, in the news volume regarding psychopaths, which is probably more, that you use a combination of the two of them to see the interest. Beginning in 2004, there was little or no, there was little, there was a bit of a spike there in 2004, but between 2005 and 2007, the end of 2007, there was very little interest in news volumes regarding psychopaths. Then something strange started to happen in 2008. In mid-2008, the volume began to rise, and then it tapered off again, and then bang, 2009, there was a sudden huge interest in psychopaths. Now that's when I began my interest in psychopaths, because I was writing a book on a horror novel and a movie script on psychopaths in Wall Street that I'm still working on. But it's so funny that the interest, I started thinking about this in 2008, and suddenly at the beginning of 2009, around May, June, there was a sudden explosion in interest in psychopaths on the internet. And then it happened again later on in the year, around August, September. Then it tapered off, but you can see the general trend is upwards. And then here in 2010, it's like every so often there's an interest in, there's a spike in the term psychopaths. So there's a growing news reporting of them. Some of this would have to do with some of the recent discoveries in terms of psychopathic brain chemistry, but a lot would also be because of stories. It's almost like in 2008 and particularly in 2009, something happened in the world that made the psychopath come to the fore, as if all the psychopaths starting in like spring 2009, they were suddenly all switched on and they blew into their full psychopathic mode, and it's been generally, with the spikes, an upward ever since. Now this one here shows the search volume index. This would be one people throwing in keywords. There's no stats for 2004. 2005, again there's spikes which correlate more or less with the spikes in the news media. So this would probably be people looking for information on stories that happened in the media. But then look at this in 2007. Suddenly there's a social, almost like a complete social, like the scale doesn't change, it's the same scale across. So this is actually a jump here in 2007 that suddenly people started asking questions in Google about psychopaths. And look at the difference in 2005 and 2007. And here we go, 2010, bam. So we're living in an age where there's a tremendous hunger for psychopaths and information about psychopaths, and the news is growing in the media. If you look at the countries where there was the highest search rates, Australia was very high, Canada, South Africa. Although these stories are probably not accurate of global trends, because it is an English language keyword search. The United States is interestingly down the list. There's Ireland there, 6 ahead of the United Kingdom, and here's Sweden. So that's the first non-English speaking country, if you even include South Africa, which is, semi-English speaking. So that's interesting that Australia has the most interest. And also over here, if you look at the cities, Vancouver, which is funny enough where Robert Hare and his team do the most work on psychopaths. So maybe there's a lot of like news media fed directly to local newspapers there. But again, it's a lot of British Commonwealth cities. Very interesting, like Toronto, Melbourne, Brisbane, Auckland. So it's almost like there's a big interest in psychopathy in in cities and in countries that are part of the British Commonwealth. I don't know what that means. It probably means nothing. It's probably just the news volumes. But anyway, there it is, straight from the horse's mouth. For some reason, in early 2008, and then really starting in spring 2009, April 2009, it's like the psychopaths were switched on, and the interest in psychopaths were switched on, and conversely, a lot of people who had been affected by psychopaths had probably started typing in the term into the search engines to get information. So what's ever happening, there's a growing awareness, and it should be interesting to see how this pans out. Again, look at this. I'll include this link at the bottom of the video so you can check for yourself. Anyway, Google Trends, very useful program for stuff like this.